With that being said, I just want to say that we as drivers, we are tasked with a lot of responsibility, and I just want the drivers to be safe and understand what you're doing. Which leads me to my topic. Let's jump into the topic. So, FMCSA has decided that they're going to listen to uh, concerns and listen to other things on the subject of L2 and L3 uh, automated driving trucks. And you might ask yourself um why would they even why would they even consider something like that? Why would they even say, okay, let's kind of look at this and see what's going on? Why? Because it started 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, when they started saying there was a driver shortage, which we know that was a lie. They always put narratives out there um in order to promote whatever it is that's coming down the pipe. So they created this narrative that there was a driver shortage, and so in creating the narrative that it was a driver shortage, it was able to open the door to the autonomous truck that they're now getting ready to uh, make available. In Texas, I've heard news that there are some Texas facilities that are testing out the driving. So, this is just a matter of opinion for me. It's not fact. It's not uh, golden. Even the article I'm getting ready to read to you. Shout out to Transport Topics. Uh, even the article uh, is factual, but it's fiction because somebody sat in on a meeting, got some information, and created the article in their opinion with some facts. And so at the end of the day, I'm just going off of the article that we've been given through transport topics. Shout out to them. Shout out to Transportation News. Shout out to CDL Life. Shout out to Landline News. Uh, I do a lot of searching and researching through them. Then I go back on the internet and go to the rules, codes, and all that, and then I start. But scratching the surface is where I start with Landline News, transport topics, transportation news, and even some articles that CDL Life uh, puts on their app. So let's jump into this real quick. This is a news edition. This is not a interview. I don't have anybody on tap. Sometimes I just get back. Last week I was on vacation, man. I had a good time. Me and my wife we went out and got out of the city and done some things and it was a good time, man. Sometimes you have to have that woman in your life that pushes you to take vacations because I don't take vacations. I don't That's not something that be on my like plan, you know what I mean? That don't be on my list. So at the end of the day, you have to have that that woman in your life because women push us to do um women push us to do a lot of things that we otherwise wouldn't do, like traveling and wearing different clothes and all that kind of stuff because it's all about having a happy life together, have a relaxing life together. So at the end of the day, I can appreciate my wife for saying, "No, man, we need to get away. We need to." Even if it was for selfish reasons, you know what I'm saying? That's where she wanted to go. But because I didn't say, "Hey, let's get out of here," she can be selfish because now it's all about, okay, I want to go here. You haven't said anything, so but get out, man. Take a vacation, kick your feet up, disconnect from everything, and just have fun. And even if it's just sitting around not doing nothing without any kids at your feet, without anybody in your ear, dad, mama, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you got to, and I appreciate my wife for doing that. So let's get into some of our major article for the night. So FMCSA. Let me put this on the screen so that you guys can see the article. I'm going to blow it up. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, I am going to. Um, Leave it just like that. Okay. So as you can see, I'll be reading along. You guys can follow if you want to. Of course, this is like I said, this transport topics. If you want to go to the article and read it, shout out to them. But FMCSA plans driver behavior study on self-driving trucks. Let's walk through this. The FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, is seeking approval from the Office of Management and Budget to conduct a human factor study that will examine the effects of non-driving secondary task engagement. Non-driving secondary task engagement. All that simply means is non-driving. You're not driving. Secondary. You are second in command. Task engagement, meaning that you're second in command while working, helping somebody else engage in a endeavor, a task, a work mode. So secondary, non-driving secondary task engagement simply means that you as the driver will be playing second fiddle to the automated system. Okay. This is the purpose of us going through the article. I'm going to break it down so that in layman's terms, so that we can understand what they mean by these words and these compositions or not compositions, these words that they put together to make it sound important or needed, in my opinion. To conduct a human factors study that will examine the effects of non-driving secondary task engagement, transfer of control and training on driver behavior in commercial vehicles equipped with L2 advanced driver assistant systems, ADAS, and L3 automated driving systems, ADS. So what does that mean? They're doing a study. They're going to conduct a study on human factors, meaning how is this going to affect the human that's the secondary driver in the truck that will transfer control. So they're going to study on transfer of control and training on driver behavior. So what that means is, as you as the secondary task, non-driving secondary task engagement, as you as the co-pilot to the automated system, you're the co-driver to the automated system. That means that they're going to study drivers, your behavior, how you are as a secondary driver to the automated system, how you would respond, how you're going to act in a L2 advanced driver assistance system and an L3 automated driver system. So don't worry about it. I will explain to you what the L2 and the L3 system consist of. But right now, we're talking about them doing a study on the human factor, on the human factor, that study that will examine the effect of non-driving, which simply means that they're going to study you as you are not the driver, but you are the co-driver. You are the co-pilot. You are the secondary. You're not the primary. You're the secondary. The study will be the study will be conducted in a driving simulator with 100 commercial vehicle drivers and include a series of questionnaires. The agency said in a June 23rd notice to the published in the Federal Register, published in the Federal Register. We'll go there in a minute. But the study going to be conducted in a simulator, not on the road, in a simulator, meaning that they're going to after you've been trained to understand the L2 and the L3, after you've been trained to understand what these automated systems can do, after you've been trained to understand what the advanced driver automated system assistance system can do, after you've been trained on the L3 automated driving system, after you've been trained on this whole cut truck that's going to be totally computerized, meaning that you're going to have to be computer savvy, meaning that, hey, if y'all want to do this, hey, we gotta hey, we about to we finna we're about to create classes. We're about to ask you guys to go back in and do some higher learning. We're going to ask you to go in and be more tech savvy than you are right now, because you're going to have to go in there. You're going to have to be able to go in and troubleshoot. So after you've done all of that, after they've, kind of giving you the breakdown of how the truck maneuvers and what's going on and how to uh, 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 troubleshoot getting the truck, if the truck defaults or whatever, how to take control of the truck if the system defaults. They're going to show you how to do all of that. But my thing is, you just said it was a driver shortage, but now we have enough drivers to put into automated trucks, because now the same drivers that let me back up. It's not mandatory that you get these systems. It's for the ones who want the system, the ones who, okay, let me get two trucks to see how this works. It's for those who say, okay, I think this is gonna work. Let me try it out. And of course, they're going to be a stifling. You're not going to hear about it. They're going to pay, companies who want to try the systems out. They're going to pay them, give them some type of stifling in order to help them with the cost of these systems, help them with the cost of these trucks. And that's what I think. That's what it's all going to boil down to for trucking companies, is the cost of these trucks. How cost efficient are these trucks? The systems. Because I know that even with some of the stuff that we have in our homes, these things start buffering and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and you have to have an app update every 2 days and all that kind of stuff. So you're gonna have to be computer savvy when they put you behind this truck and do these studies in these simulators. Advanced driver systems and automated driving systems are helping to reduce how much a truck driver has to do behind the wheel. The agency said ADS systems could even remove the need for truck drivers in certain applications. So basically, what they're saying is we're gonna get ready to put some of these truck drivers out of work. Um, and the only way I can see that they're saying no driver in some of these applications is yard mules. Uh, I really can't see where you're not gonna ever need a, or even with your muse, which is the simplest form of trucking. Uh, I don't see how you're not gonna be have to have. Well, mm, I'm thinking about drivers getting out, um, unchalking wheels and all of that kind of stuff. Now, well, where I work, you know, once you're done with a trailer, they can tell them, hey, once you're done with a trailer, go out there, unchalk the wheels so that the truck can come get it. I see it where we are, but I go to deliver a lot of stuff to a lot of different companies that do not have outside access. Once you back that truck, once you back that trailer into the into the once you bump the dock with that trailer, it's a lot of facilities that do not have access to unchalking the wheels, and they have your mules. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about you know that part of it, and that's the simplest form of trucking because right here it says right here it says AD ADAS and automated driving systems are helping to reduce how much a truck driver has to do while behind the wheel. The agency said ADS systems, which is the automated driver systems, could even remove the need for truck drivers in certain applications. When they say certain applications, that means in certain modes of work, in certain tasks of engagement, in certain uh, containers, for instance, containers, even some flatbed, even some LTL, even some van, even some box truck. Yes, box truck. They're saying ADS could remove the driver, but I don't see how ADS works within the traffic system that Houston has, that Los Angeles has, that New York has. And I'm just naming some of the major cities that I know that have major traffic issues. I'm not just talking about on the interstate, but I mean on the state highways and on county roads and all of that kind of stuff. But we'll get into that. Uh, let's go down to the article, going down. However, higher levels of ADS and lower levels of ADS present an environment that is ripe for over reliance. He tried to come back and clean it up. An L2 vehicle offers longitudinal and lateral support to the driver. However, the driver is still responsible for driving at all times. At this level, engaging in non-driving secondary tasks can be highly detrimental to driving performance. Exactly. To driving performance, as the driver may not recognize and respond to hazards timely or appropriately. Let's break down. They said that a L2, which is which is which is the not automated, but the advanced driver assistance system. That's LT, advanced driver assistance system. And their task, and what the definition of that is, vehicle offers longitudinal, which is straight forward, north and south, east and west, north and south, and lateral, east and west, support to the driver. What does that mean to me? That means that the truck can handle going 300 miles. You put it on the highway as a secondary driver, you become the primary. Once you become the primary, get on the highway and you have 300 miles to drive to the next hazardous area where you had the secondary driver has to take over. That's when the longitudinal, the ADAS system comes in. The L2 system comes in, and he drives, and that system drives two, three, 400 miles down the interstate. Longitudinal. At this level, engaging in non-secondary tasks can be highly detrimental to driving performance, as the driver may not recognize and respond to hazards timely or appropriately. What is he saying? He's saying that if we take the driver out of the driver's seat for 300 miles and allows the truck to drive their vehicle for 300 miles, because you do understand that these trucks are going to have every bells and whistles, all the bells and whistles, all the safety gadgets, everything that you want on a truck that's not being driven by a human being, by a CDL truck driver. You want all of the bells and whistles. They're gonna have the system, the 6 second rule, the 4 second rule, to where if it gets a a car gets within 4 to 6 seconds of that sensor, the engine begins to slow down, the truck automatically begins to brake. That system is going to be in place for sure. It has to be. Then the lane change when the if the truck begins to veer to the right or to the left, then you have those sensors on the side that gives you the lane change alert. Do, 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 do. Lets you know that the truck is veering off. Then then you have the automated the ABS system that will engage the trailer and the truck as they're beginning to bring the truck to a slow stop. So at the end of the day, what they're saying is, if we put the driver in the L2 system as a secondary driver, which means that he has to still be behind the wheel. If he's behind the wheel driving 300 miles, is he going to be alert? He has to be behind the wheel. But you also know that you're going to have some drivers that say you have the option to be behind the wheel in the co-pilot seat, which is the passenger seat. Now they're going to have some rules to where either you have to be behind the wheel in this L2 system, right? Or you can be. They're going to have some rules. Don't ask me my opinion on it. Well, I'm gonna give you my opinion on it because at the end of the day, that's why I do a podcast. My opinion on it is this: even as one of the healthiest guys, that you can put the healthiest guy behind that truck, right? His BMI is where it's supposed to be. His weight is where it's supposed to be. His mental state is where it's supposed to be. Everything is lining up, as you know. And as I told you, God is always in control. You never know what's going on. He looks good on paper. You've taken him through. He's damn near an astronaut. You get behind that wheel, and nature takes over. Even though your body and your medical card said that you are able to sit there for 2 3 hours and just watch the scenery and do whatever, they're going to have rules to where you still can't talk on your phone. You can't eat. They're going to have rules. So you're basically going to be sitting there babysitting the steering wheel. Do you think that auto- anatomically, do you think his system is not going to begin to just slowly relax, relax, relax? The sound of the engine humming, the quietness in the cab is just all you can feel is the AC and the quietness. Do you think his system is going to slowly start to He's going to slowly start to drift off. And for me, that's the biggest thing. And then they're saying the ability for him to respond to hazards in a timely fashion, pretty much. And that's what they're talking about. Will he be able to, if he dozes off, oh, I hear the alarms. And by the time he hear the alarms, is it too late for him to take over the wheel? Oh, they're gonna have bells and whistles on there. They might even have something to vibrate the seat when the alarm when the alarm start going off. They might have flashing lights in there and everything to make sure it gets his attention on the first time and not a minute or two down the line. Because a minute or two down the line, anything could happen. So that's the L2 system. Let's look at this L3. In an L3 vehicle, the role of distraction is blurred. Hmm. L3 is the automated driving system, is the lowest level considered to be ADS. The driver takes on a more supervisory role and is in full control of the vehicle in a limited number of situations. You're in full control, but only in a limited number of situations. Let's see what those limited number of situations is. When an L3 vehicle alerts the driver, see, there we go. When the L3 system alerts a driver, in this system, it says that the driver takes on a more supervisory role, meaning that I'm sitting there watching the screens, I'm watching the gauges, making sure I ain't losing no air pressure. I'm watching this here, but I'm not in the driver's seat. I can walk around amongst the cab. I can sit in the back and watch TV. I can play Madden while you driving. Excuse me. I can play Madden while you driving. You find that funny? Yeah. I can play Madden while you driving in the L3 system because I'm in more of a supervisory role. Let's read on. It says the driver takes on a more supervisory role and is in full control of the vehicle at a limited number of situations. When an L3 vehicle alerts the driver that a takeover is required, the driver needs to have situational awareness to resume full control of the vehicle. This man got to jump up out his sleep, out his slumber, and on a drop of a dime, be able to get in that driver's seat and take over that vehicle. That's what they're telling them. When the L3 vehicle alerts, the seat starts rocking, a whistle start going off, horns start going off on the inside of the truck, flashing lights, whatever it is to get this driver's assistance, attention. Hey, hey, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you. Something happening, something coming up. Take over, take over. He has to jump up, be alert enough to do whatever he needs to do to disengage the ADS, the L3, to disengage it and give him full control to where he can maneuver around the hazards. So once he does a pre-trip in the L3 system, in my mind, once he does a pre-trip and make sure everything's fine, he got all this uh, uh, insurance and permits and all that kind of stuff. Make sure as if the tag is good. Make sure his fire extinguisher is charged. Make sure nothing, no bolts are loose on his tires, on his rims. Checks his brakes, checks his lines, checks his oil. checks his water, checks his windshield wiper fluid, goes through the tractor, goes through the trailer, checks and make sure he has no cuts, cracks, or abrasions on the line. Make sure he has no air leaks. Make sure he's drained his tank and they had no water in his air tanks and all that. Once he does his pre-trip, he gets in, logs in, pre-trip done. Well, already logged in. He completes the pre-trip, signs the pre-trip form, and hits OK. Gets in the system, turns the truck and says, "Truck is now safe to maneuver." I don't even know. He might not even have to start it, but I think he'll have to start it. Cranks the truck up, does what he needs to do, puts in. He's going to have to put in a destination, a starting point and a destination is going to have to be put into that system, the automated system, in order for him, the truck to for him, in order for the automated system to know where they're going. This is in the L3. It's totally automated. They don't need you at all. But in a few rare situations. So that's the L3. I have a problem with that, bro. For me, I can't even ride. I don't. I've driven. I've taken one load with team driving. One. I cannot sleep with somebody else driving, let alone automated system. So as even though I'm not driving, I'm still up. They're saying that, as a co-driver, you're supposed to be in sleeper berth, not driving. I'll be in sleeper berth not driving, but I'm gonna be sitting in that seat. Man, I'm not finna put my life in jeopardy like that with no automated system, hoping that they gonna alert me and then trusting myself enough to, if I go into a deep sleep with the quietness in this truck, the way that I'm thinking it might be, with the humming of the transmission and the motor, and that shit lulls you to sleep when you're not behind that wheel. If I drift off and if I'm in a deep enough sleep and I don't hear those bells and whistles that they're gonna have to alarm me that I need to take over, it's a wrap. And maybe to that point, if the driver is not in the driver's seat within 30 seconds, maybe it automatically turns on the flashers, stops the truck wherever it is until the driver gets into the seat and takes over. Maybe it's going to have to be able to do that. If a driver doesn't get in the seat within 10 to 15 seconds of them alerting him that he needs to take over, it stops, turns on his four ways, and does not move the truck until the driver takes over that ADS L3 system. Those we talk about all of the cons of using that system. I think it has some advantages. It definitely has some advantages, but we talk about the cons of that system because it takes away from us having the ability to make a decent living. And it ups the ante on our knowledge of what we thought was not going to have to get any better or get any advanced. Am I scared of it? No. Because if you tell me, hey man, I need you to go take this training course so that you'll be prepared if I need you to get into this truck, I'm going to take the course because I love advancement. I love learning. I love being in a training, type of situation. I love to teach. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go. What I need to do. Is it coming out of my pocket? Am I being reimbursed? Do you have a scholarship for me to go do this here? So at the end of the day, I'm all for advancement. I'm all for, you know, putting trucks in an automated state that can, but don't take me out of the seat and say, you know, I think they'll get into the pay regimen as we go, but don't stop paying me because now I'm in this L3 unit and I'm in a supervisory role. I need to still be getting paid. That happens, I'm all for it because at the end of the day, long as you paying me, I'm up. I'm not sleeping. I'm in that truck. I'm up, not sleeping because I'm not finna let a truck dictate whether I live or die or whether another family lives or dies. Because at the end of the day, regardless, I'm gonna be up. And if I'm up, I need for you to pay me. I need to be getting paid. Now you can't pay me if you want to use my 11 hours and then use the system's 11 hours. It's not gonna happen. And that's another hours of service is another thing that they're gonna have to tackle when it comes to these automatic systems, these trucks. You're not gonna be able to tell a driver to be in sleeper berth and then let the truck drive for 4 hours. But the driver's not actually in sleeper berth or the driver's not actually getting any rest because he needs to be alert. You still need to be paying me because I'm on call. I'm on call as a driver in the truck. I'm on call. I'm on duty. That's the part they're gonna have to work through too. FMCSA said engagement in non-driving secondary tasks also may prevent the driver from maintaining situational awareness of the driving environment. Exactly. Meaning that you're not going to be alert and aware and understand that, oh, okay, it's a hazard there, there's a hazard there. I know I seen up ahead. Using your Smith systems, getting the big picture and looking ahead. Look, our lead time. So if the system alerts him and he didn't have that eye lead time and he was looking out that window and watching that dot, and that dot is looking 8, 10 seconds up ahead, and he can see lights beginning to hit. All these lights starting to hit. Oh, they breaking, they breaking. If he wasn't able to see that, that's what they mean by understanding the maintaining the situation awareness of the driving environment. Understanding what's going on around him. They're naming the cons in it right now. The notice said recently completed. The notice said a recently completed study by FMCSA on research involving ADS in commercial motor vehicles found a lack of research related to ADS equipped CMVs. To date, most commercial ADS on U.S. roadways are in passenger vehicles, meaning have you seen the Chevy, not Chevy, but the GMC Denali commercial where the dude just gives over total control and he's sitting behind a boom, boom, da, behind the wheel? That's passenger vehicles. They're only doing them in passenger vehicles right now. And you can almost say it's like going into cruise control. But see, in cruise control, it's like that, it's like longitudinal only. You can only go forward in cruise control, and you have to still keep this keep the truck, keep the vehicle straight. It doesn't straighten itself up. Your hands needs to still be on the wheel in cruise control. But with the ADS system, you can give it over and it'll keep it straight. It understands, Oh, I'm drifting a little bit. Let me straighten back up. It understands when cars come up on the side in the blind spot. It understands that, oh, this car, he's slowing down. I didn't got too close. It'll start slowing down. It understands all of that in a passenger vehicle. To date, most commercial ADS on U.S. roadways are in passenger vehicles, and CMV, commercial motor vehicle ADS, have only recently begun being implemented in real world operations. As a result, the agency said it needs more data on ADS equipped CMVs to understand driver behavior and policy implications. So, for me, for me, it's a whole thing about FMCSA doing a human factor study, and then they say they gonna study 100 commercial vehicle drivers. You gonna study 100 commercial vehicle drivers, and we have 3.5 million or better in the USA, and you only gonna study 100? That ain't near about enough. That's not near about enough, in my opinion. That ain't even 0.1%. You study 100 drivers, and we got 3.5 million in the country. And then those drivers you study, guess what? They're in supervisory roles already. They're trainers. You know what I'm saying? They still got a CDL, so they still CDL holders. They're trainers. They're teachers. They teach curriculum. Uh, 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 and they're in retirement mode where they don't drive every day. You need everyday drivers to do this human study. This is just my opinion. You need everyday drivers, and you need more than 100. You need to do at least 500 for every state or better. For every state, you need 500 drivers studied for every state that has a uh, uh, a heavy roster or registry of CDL holders. You have to do 500 drivers in every state. That's my opinion. 100 drivers is not going to be enough, FMCSA. And this is my comment being put out to you guys. Please consider doing more. And that's the issue I'm having. Do more than 100 drivers of human study factors on this system, on the L2 and the L3, in your simulated system, in your questionnaire. Do more than 100 drivers. 100 drivers is not going to give you the big picture. It's not going to give you the big picture. It's not going to give you the big picture. Okay? So that's my little old spiel on the man. Go to transport topics. That's what I want to get off my chest. That's what I want to talk about on that issue. Now let's dive into some of the things going on. First thing is UPS is probably going to go on a strike. They said Teamsters break off. UPS Teamsters break off. UPS talks one strike inevitable. I have some information on that, but I won't say anything because it's not my place. It's not my call to say anything. So I won't. I have guys that work and know what's going on. So that's not my place because it's their opinion, and I don't wanna bring it up. Then you have again Yellow sues Teamsters alleging breach of contract. Yellow sues Teamsters for breach of contract. That's just a little business news that I go through. Um but I want to end with this here. I want to share this with you guys, and we're gonna close this out. Um Freight Trapping Podcast. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you guys for just listening in, tuning in. But once again, I want to say RIP to Chris, the young brother whose truck went over uh the young brother whose truck went over the over what off the overpass in Chesapeake Bay. Man, life is precious. Life is ever fleeting. We don't think so because we think that, because we see ourselves growing up and we see our kids growing up and we see things happening, that life is this long drawn out. But for God, life is ever fleeting. And when it's time, his time, in due time, is the right time. And no matter where this young fella, his spirituality is, if you are spiritual, you are asked that God receive him into his bosom with open arms. And that's what I do. Ask God to receive them and protect the ones that he's left behind, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Save him. And I'm trying to, because I want to make this as big as possible. And if you ain't aware of it, I'm quite sure everybody's aware. I just want to bring some more awareness. But this is the last call. This is the last call to Chris Scott. I said Chris Jones at first, my bad. Chris Scott. Hey brother, you got your ears on? Chris Scott. 1 2 1 2, breaker 1 2. You got your ears on? Eyes looking up ahead. Hey man, we down here, bro. We understand your story has hit worldwide. But all I want you to know from us, the truckers that are here, that we're praying for you. We're praying for your spirit. We're praying for your family, praying for your kids. Chris Scott, my bad. Chris Scott, you got your ears on? You got your ears on? Last call for Chris Scott. Chris Scott, you got your ears on. That's good, bro. We see you in the afterlife. Rest easy. Rest easy. If you didn't know the story, here it is.
Rest in peace Chris Scott, who lost his life when his semi-truck went over the Chesapeake Bridge in Virginia and plunged into the bay that flows beneath. Chris was described as a hard-working man by his loved ones, and he will be dearly missed. He is leaving behind his girlfriend and 3 kids, one of which was born the same day of his passing. There is a GoFundMe for him for those who want to donate on his page. We also want to thank the first responders who did everything to help, as their report stated that he was still with the truck when found.
Rest in peace, Amazon tractor trailer driver Ilcom Shodiv, who was fatally wounded by the recently arrested Andrew Watson, who was arrested after being on the run for a few days after hiding out in Manteca, California. It is good to see justice unfold as the accused Watson took away a hard-working man from his loved ones and two young children. Ilcom was operating his commercial truck on duty when he was shot by Andrew, causing the truck to run off the road and into a building on I-5 in the Lathrop area. And to the family of Ilcom, the trucking community feels your pain, and we all hope justice is served.
Those were just a couple of drivers who lost their lives while doing their duty, while they were doing something to provide for their families. Um, we've had some more, but like I said, rest easy, Chris Scott. Uh, he had just had a baby the same day his wife went into labor. God, rest easy, young brother. Y'all do a last call for Chris Scott. Last call for Chris Scott. Last call for Chris Scott. Rest easy, bro. Rest easy, bro. Man, you think about it all the time. You just never think it'll be you. You just never think it'll be you. So, man, hey, man, this has been a Freight Trapping Podcast. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I'm going to put it in the description. Y'all like the hat? You like the bucket hat? Man, shout out to Melanin, man. Shout out to Melanin, man. This I bought some stuff from them. Um, uh, hold on, y'all. Yeah, shout out to Melanin Apparel. I'm gonna put them in the description. I like this hat, bro. I just got it. I just got it. Oh, and it's reversible too. Look, flip this joint. Flip this joint. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Melanin Apparel, man. There you is. You see that right there? Melanin Apparel. Yeah, man. Shout out, bro. Thank you guys for the hat. Man, I'm gonna wear it wild. I'm gonna wear it proud. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I love it. I like it. I love it. I love it. I like it. Hey, man, y'all have a good day. Man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope I gave you some information on this new stuff that's going down. Uh, and y'all be easy. Peace.